Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the top 10 best and must-own weaponized vehicles in the game. So even though Rockstar only considers a handful of vehicles weaponized, in this video, I'm including any vehicle that has attached weapons to it to be a weaponized vehicle. So there's actually quite a few if you go by my guidelines, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 that you absolutely must have and must own in your arsenal. So anyways, let's not waste any more time and let's jump straight into it. The first vehicle today is the Khanjali. So the Khanjali has sort of taken the place as the best tank in GTA 5. We've seen a lot that have been added, the Rhino tank, the APC, but the Khanjali added with the Doomsday Heist seems to be the new king of tanks. Whether it's its speed, whether it's its upgradable cannon that can actually fire railgun rounds, which is kind of cool, or whether it's the unique Christmas liveries that can be applied for that festive time of the year. It really does make this one of the best vehicles of all time, and it can actually store a hand number of people, with 2 people being in the front and 2 people being in the back, to control extra guns that can fire out the side of this vehicle. I mean, if you have a full squad in the Khanjali, that thing is just a walking death machine. It can fire from any angle. The railgun with its extended range can take out vehicles from incredibly long distances. It really just becomes the best overall tank you can have in the game. At the number 2 spot today, the Buzzard. The Buzzard is such a tried and true vehicle. It's actually returning to GTA 5 from Grand Theft Auto 4's The Ballad of Gay Tony. The Buzzard is one of those just overall really great helicopters. I mean, it can seat 4 people. It's relatively quick. It has lock-on missiles and machine guns. This thing can do everything for you. The Buzzard can also be called in via your CEO services. It can be stored inside of your hangar, so it can be upgraded to be customized and tailored to the way you want. So needless to say, this vehicle can really do it all. And the great thing about the Buzzard is it's not all that expensive. In fact, I think it's on sale right now. So if you don't own the Buzzard, you should totally get one. It's like the perfect starter vehicle. It'll help you out with heist missions, with regular missions, with, CEO missions, biker missions. This vehicle is the jack of all trades when it comes to helicopters. You just have to own the Buzzard. The number 3 spot today, the Stromberg. So James Bond's Lotus finally returns to Grand Theft Auto Online, and the Stromberg is the best vehicle that can go in land and can go in water. So there's a couple other options too, but by far the Stromberg is the best. It's the quickest, it's the most nimble underwater. It's also the only weaponized vehicle in the game with freaking torpedoes. You heard me right. This vehicle has torpedoes, and the way it transforms from land ready to sea ready is just so cool. I mean, it's a really great vehicle. This is what the Ocelot Ardent should have been from day one, but luckily Rockstar still had the smarts to add this vehicle into the game, and we got it in the form of the Ocelot Stromberg, which is one of the best weaponized vehicles in the game for its ability to go from land to sea, and just its arsenal of weapons it has is really impressive. The number 4 spot today, the Deluxe O. So the Impante Deluxe O, based off of the DMC-12 DeLorean, and this is an amazing vehicle. So put aside the Back to the Future references, the fact that this is a car that can drive normally, it can also hover, but it can also fly. And on top of that, it's fully weaponized with lock-on missiles that can be applied to this vehicle. So it's incredibly useful. And like I said, the fact that it can fly, it can hover, it can really get to any location, and it has those lock-on missiles that has 30 capacity, that is nuts. When you compare it to something like the Ruiner 2000 that can only jump and has the parachute, and is locked to 8 total missiles, it's really just insane that those vehicles are even compared to each other. The Deluxe O outweighs it in almost every single category. So yes, the Deluxe O is one of those must-own vehicles just because of how great it is, and that Back to the Future reference is just the icing on top. It makes it that much better. At the number 5 spot today, the Vigilante. We had to include one rocket-powered vehicle in here, and that is the Vigilante. So this is the Batmobile. It has lock-on missiles. It has machine gun turrets attached to it. It has a rocket thruster on the back, and it also has the ramming power of just a giant rhinoceros. I mean, this thing can literally blow through any vehicle, any objects on the road in Los Santos, and the fact that you put a rocket thruster on the back is even better. So out of all the rocket-powered ground vehicles, I would say this is definitely better than the Rocket Voltic, even though that has no weapons on it. And as we'll look at in a little bit, the Oppressor is still on this list, but the stopping power the Vigilante have just can't be matched by any other vehicle. Even the Duke of Death or something like that, it can't touch the Vigilante. So definitely one of those weaponized vehicles that you absolutely need to own. At the number 6 spot today, the Insurgent Custom. So the Insurgent would make its way on this list, but the custom version is just better. It comes with upgraded armor, upgraded accessories that you can put on there. Not to mention it can finally be stored in your garage and called as a personal vehicle. So it gets the armor upgrades, engine upgrades, transmission upgrades, the whole nine, and it's still the good old Insurgent that you've known since the Heist update. Being able to carry a large amount of people, being weaponized where someone in the back obviously has access to that minigun, which can be upgraded, by the way. So needless to say, the Insurgent Custom is just a better version of the Insurgent, which is a vehicle I was going to include on this list. But if you can afford the custom variant upgrade, which does require a bunker, does require research, but if you can get past all of that, the Insurgent Custom is just a way better option. A vehicle you should totally own too. The number 7 spot today, the Oppressor. So the Oppressor is by far the most nimble and one of the most dangerous motorcycles in the game. With a rocket thruster on the back, wings on the side for your ability to glide and fly, this vehicle is incredibly dangerous. And when you pair it with the fact it has lock-on missiles on there, it makes it so lethal and so deadly. In fact, many people will probably say that the Oppressor is one of the most overpowered weapons and vehicles we have in the game. And if you pair it with the right driver or pilot, I guess you could say, this is a absolutely lethal combination because of how nimble it can go in terms of tight places, how fast it can go, and obviously how dangerous it is with all the missile capacity that it has. So you've definitely got to own one of these vehicles. You have to have an Oppressor, hands down. The number 8 spot today, the Avenger. So I was debating between Mobile Operations Center and Avenger, and I finally decided to put the Avenger on this list over that, because I feel like it just does everything better. And it has way more features, in my opinion, too. It can obviously fly. It has a VTOL mode, which allows it to take off and land seamlessly. And I feel like it's just more agile, more adapt. And it also, in my opinion, doesn't blow up as easily because obviously you're flying, which means it's going to be harder for people on the ground to get to you. So the Avenger, even though you wouldn't necessarily think of it as a traditional weaponized vehicle, it most definitely is. It just has a lot of different perks that you can use on the inside to be able to take advantage of all the different activities going around in online. The number 9 spot today, the Akula. So the Akula was also added into the Doomsday Heist, and the Akula is one of the rarest helicopters in the game because it actually has stealth mode, which makes it incredibly valuable and useful during missions and free mode and whatever else you want to use it for. It's also really lethal. It's almost like the better, stealthier version of the Hunter. And as far as helicopters go, at least very, very weaponized ones, it's probably the best in the game. You still have the Buzzard, which is really great, really nimble, really agile. But as far as super weaponized goes, the Akula is a lethal beast. And when you pair it with the fact that it can go into your hangar and be customized as well, when it can have that stealth technology applied, it's one of the most dangerous weaponized vehicles we have in the game. And last but not least, I had to include this one on the list today. We had to get one jet, and that is the Hydra. So in my opinion, the Hydra still to this day is one of the best overall jet options you can use. It has vertical takeoff and landing. It has lock-on missiles. It has the machine guns that you can use. And although we did get a lot of jets and planes in Smuggler's Run, I feel like they still don't keep up with what the Hydra added back in 2015 in the original Heist update. Even its very similar predecessor, the P996 laser, it's still very expensive and it still doesn't have that vertical takeoff mode, making the Hydra, in my opinion, still the best bet you can use for jet fighting or dog fighting or just general jet flying in Grand Theft Auto Online. So that's why I wanted to include it on this list. It definitely earns a spot as one of the top 10 best weaponized vehicles you can own in the game. But anyways, that's all the information that I'm going to be talking about for you guys in this video today, and that right there is the top 10 must-own, must-buy, and must-have weaponized vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know in the comments down below, would you take away any vehicles from my list? Would you add any vehicles to it as well? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.